The book of Revelation speaks of a great war in heaven. It's a cosmic conflict, a battle for all of creation and God's sovereignty over his kingdom. At the center of this epic struggle is a powerful angel, a great warrior. His name is Michael, the Archangel, the one who is like God. Michael's name itself is a defiant question. Who is like God? This question challenges Satan's pride and his rebellious desire to be like the Most High. The text describes a fearsome dragon, a great red one with 7 heads. This dragon is identified as Satan, also known as the devil, the ancient serpent. This terrifying dragon is full of immense power and evil. His tail sweeps 1/3 of the stars, symbolizing the angels who rebelled and fell with him. A great battle erupts in the heavens. Michael and his faithful angels fight against the dragon, a fierce and heavenly war for all of eternity. It is a fundamental struggle between good and evil, light and darkness. Michael, as a symbol of divine righteousness, leads the forces of good against all evil. The dragon and his rebellious angels fight back with all their might. They are determined to overthrow God's rule and seize control of his heavenly throne. But they are not strong enough. Their rebellion is a failure. They cannot prevail against Michael's power, which is the power of God himself. A great voice is heard in heaven, rejoicing loudly. It announces the dragon's ultimate defeat and his permanent expulsion from the celestial realm. The dragon is cast out of heaven with great force. He is thrown down to the earth, along with all his angels, now reduced to demons. This event marks a great victory for the forces of light. It signifies the triumph of God's will and the righteousness of his supreme and eternal reign. Michael is the leader of the heavenly army. He is the champion of the divine cause and the ultimate defender of God's perfect, holy kingdom. His role is to defend God's kingdom from all spiritual enemies. He protects it from the rebellion of both the physical and spiritual forces of darkness. The dragon, now on earth, is filled with immense fury. He knows his time is short, and his final judgment is near, so he rages. He then turns his wrath to the earth. He begins to persecute the woman, who represents God's people, and her child, who is Jesus. Michael's victory in heaven is a prelude. It sets the stage for the final conflict on earth between good and evil and all of humanity. The war continues on a new front. The dragon turns his anger and malice toward those who follow Christ and keep the commandments of God. Although Michael's name is mentioned only once in Revelation, his role is crucial and pivotal. He is the divine general of the heavenly hosts. He is the one who leads God's forces to victory. He is a powerful archangel and a righteous warrior who executes divine will and justice. The war in heaven is a spiritual reality. It shows us the unseen world and the spiritual forces that are constantly at work around us. It is not a physical war with weapons. It is a battle of will, allegiance, and faith. It is a spiritual and moral struggle. Michael's fight is for truth and justice, for all that is good. He stands against all forms of lies, deception, and spiritual falsehood. The dragon's accusations are empty lies. In contrast, Michael's actions reveal God's ultimate and unyielding power and his unwavering justice. This war in heaven is a central theme. It highlights the ultimate struggle between rebellion against God and submission to his holy will. The book of Revelation is a vision full of powerful symbolic and metaphorical language. It is a message of warning and of hope. Michael represents God's supreme power. He is the one who executes divine judgment and carries out the will of the Almighty God. The war's outcome is never in doubt. God and his holy angels will always win. His power is absolute, and nothing can stand against it. Michael's name is a shout of defiance. It is a powerful challenge to all who rebel against God and his supreme authority and justice. He is the archangel of protection. He guards God's people from all harm, both spiritual and physical. He is their divine protector. His heavenly fight sets an example for us. It shows us how to stand firmly against evil and remain steadfast in our faith. The dragon's defeat is a great fall from glory. He is reduced from a powerful, influential being to nothing more than a defeated foe. The stars that fall with him are demons. They are the wicked and rebellious angels who chose to be servants of the dragon's evil. Michael's power is divinely given. He acts on God's authority and command, executing the perfect and sovereign will of the Lord. This event is a great turning point in history. It marks the beginning of the final and glorious end times, leading to judgment. The heavenly realms are now eternally pure. The rebel angels have been permanently expelled and can no longer corrupt the celestial places. The dragon's war shifts to the earth. He seeks to destroy humanity, the crown of God's creation and the object of his love. Michael is the patron of the people of God. He is a protector and a warrior who defends the faithful from the enemy's attacks. His role in this cosmic war is decisive. Without him leading God's army, the dragon might have temporarily prevailed in his evil plot. The book of Revelation is a message of hope. It assures all believers of God's ultimate victory over sin, death, and all evil. No matter how fierce the battle, God's forces are always superior. His might is unmatched, and his power is limitless. Michael's triumph is a powerful sign. It is proof that the Lord reigns supreme, and that his power is absolutely without limits. The narrative is a great source of comfort. It reminds us not to fear the enemy, for God is with us in every battle. Michael's fight is for all of us. He defends the righteous and the just from the relentless attacks of the devil and his demons. The dragon's anger is a last gasp. He knows his kingdom is lost forever, and he is filled with a great, terrible rage. This war is a heavenly expulsion. The enemy and his forces are completely and permanently removed from God's holy presence. It establishes God's supreme authority for all time. No one, not even a powerful dragon, can ever challenge his eternal throne. Michael's victory is a powerful testament. It proves that goodness, holiness, and righteousness will always triumph over all evil. The book of Revelation is a dramatic book. It uses vivid and powerful imagery to convey its profound and timeless message. The war is not just a story. It is a spiritual truth about our world and the great unseen conflict that rages for our souls. Michael's sword is truth and righteousness. He fights with the power of God's word, which is sharper than any two-edged sword. The dragon's defeat is a great moral lesson. Pride and rebellion against God will always and inevitably lead to ultimate destruction. The heavenly war is a foundational event. It explains the presence of evil and suffering on earth, a consequence of rebellion. The dragon and his angels were not just defeated. They were utterly and completely vanquished, their power and authority revoked. Michael is a powerful symbol of faith. He trusts completely and without a doubt in God's power and in his final glorious plan. His confidence is not in his own strength. It is in the Lord he serves, for whom he fights, and whose will he follows. The war's end is a joyous occasion for all in heaven. A loud voice celebrates their glorious and triumphant victory over sin. They sing a new song in heaven. They rejoice in the salvation they have received through the Lamb, who is Jesus Christ. Michael's leadership is a key element. He coordinates the heavenly forces and directs them with wisdom, power, and divine authority. The dragon's expulsion from heaven is final. He is forever banished and can never again return to the glorious presence of God. This event has a ripple effect. It impacts the entire spiritual realm, from heaven to earth and all of creation. The war in heaven is a cosmic divorce. Good and evil, righteousness and wickedness, are forever and completely separated by God. Michael is the defender of light. He stands against all darkness, lies, and spiritual wickedness in all of the heavenly places. His victory is a warning to the wicked. Their rebellion will not go unpunished, and they will face the judgment of God. The book of Revelation is a prophecy. It foretells future events and their final decisive outcome, which is God's triumph. Michael's role is a part of that divine plan. It is a plan for God's ultimate triumph over all evil and all opposition. He is the very instrument of God's judgment. He carries out the divine will and justice against all who rebel against God. The dragon's tail sweeping the stars is a powerful image. It shows his great influence and the scope of his rebellion against God. But even with all his power, he falls. He is no match for God's might. He is a created being, and God is the creator. Michael is a divine general. He commands a legion of heavenly beings, all of whom are devoted to God's glorious purpose. The war in heaven is a demonstration of God's power. It shows that he is in complete and sovereign control of all things. The dragon's fury on earth is a desperate reaction. He is enraged by his defeat in heaven, so he lashes out at humanity. Michael's victory provides great hope for us. If he can defeat the enemy, we can also overcome with God's power. The war's details are symbolic. They point to deeper spiritual meanings and the reality of the spiritual warfare that surrounds us. Michael's role is a sign of hope. We are not alone in our spiritual battles. We have the protection of God's angels. The dragon's angels are called demons. They are the spiritual beings who fell from grace and are the source of much evil. The war in heaven is the reason for evil on earth. It explains the presence of suffering and spiritual darkness in the world. Michael's name is a battle cry. It is a powerful challenge to all who oppose God's perfect and righteous will for his creation. The book of Revelation is a comfort to us. It shows us that evil will be defeated and that goodness will triumph at last. The war is not just in heaven. It is also happening in our hearts and minds, a battle for our faith and souls. Michael is the Archangel of justice. He stands for what is right, true, and holy, and he fights against all that is wrong. His triumph is an inspiration. We should also strive to fight for what is good and to stand for justice in our own lives. The dragon's ultimate end is sealed forever. He will be cast into the lake of fire, a punishment for his rebellion and evil. Michael's victory is a step towards that. It sets in motion the events that will lead to the final judgment of evil. The war in heaven is an epic saga. It is a central part of biblical prophecy and a crucial part of God's grand plan. Michael's name is mentioned in other books of the Bible. He is always a powerful protector and a spiritual warrior for God. He is the guardian of the people of Israel. He is the champion of God's chosen people and their divine protector against all evil. His role in Revelation is the climax. It is his most famous and pivotal battle, a fight for all of eternity. The war in heaven is a powerful metaphor. It describes the unseen struggle between good and evil for the souls of humanity. Michael's role is that of a hero, a divine hero who fights for righteousness, justice, and the ultimate glory of God. The dragon's defeat is an assurance for all. Evil will not reign forever. Its power is temporary, and its end is certain. The victory is not by human strength. It is by the power of God alone, who uses his angels to carry out his perfect will. Michael's leadership is a model for us. He shows us how to trust God completely, without doubt, in every circumstance of life. The war in heaven is a great cosmic drama. It shows the spiritual forces at work behind the scenes of our human existence. The dragon and his angels were no match. They were no competition for Michael's divinely given power and God's perfect authority. Michael's triumph is a divine act. It is a testament to God's unwavering and supreme authority over all creation and all beings. This event is a crucial part of God's plan. It is a plan for the salvation of humanity and the restoration of his kingdom. And so, the war in heaven ends. Michael is eternally victorious, and the dragon is cast down, defeated, and banished forever. The book of Revelation gives us a glimpse into this war. It is a war for all of eternity, a war between light and darkness. Michael, the great archangel, leads God's army. He defeats the dragon and assures us of God's eternal victory, which gives us hope.